Hello everyone and welcome back to Kindleflame Testing Tutorial, the series where I show you guys how exactly to best use these kits here in this beautiful game of the Kindleflame Laboratories. Now, the next kit we'll be viewing is the Ranger or Archer kit, and this kit is probably one of the least used in the entire roster. The reason is, people see the bow, and they look at the arena, and they think, well, I mean, it can't be that powerful. It's short range. It's either too short or too long a shot to make. There's so many obstacles in the way. How could you possibly utilize this kit well? Well, it's in here for a reason, so today I'm going to show you guys exactly how to. Hope you all enjoy. Let's get right into the kit overview. Okay, so when we get the kit, we instantly see that the speed effect has been applied. Weakness as well, but that's not nearly as noticeable. Speed is this kit's biggest asset. Like the Knight kit, which has jump boost, which isn't as influential, this kit's speed can save its life. And it has done so many times over for me, personally. But very, very good effect there. The weakness, surprisingly enough, only affects the sword. A few of you might not know this, but the amount of damage a bow does is only dependent on the enchantment level of the bow. So for example, this bow has power 6, meaning that it will only ever do as much as a standard bow plus the power 6 enchantment. Weakness and strength, those buffs do not affect the bow's power. So keep that in mind for this kit, it only affects the sword. So opt to use your bow over the sword if you have to. Now, that's pretty much all with the kit. The leather armor is, of course, very liable to break, so if you do see it starting to lose durability, it's not that influential, but always be sure to just go back to your spawn, click on that end portal frame, change your kit, get this again, and you'll have a completely new, fresh set of leather armor to work with. So be sure to do that if that should ever happen. Okay, now I think it's a good time that we've taken a nice close look at the kits to know exactly what makes the kit powerful on the battlefield. More specifically, this section will be abilities. Da-da-da. Okay, so the first item I want to go over with this kit is in fact the bow. It's the biggest part of the kit, it's the reason the kit exists, and some people have found it very, very challenging to use. Now, the bow in general in Minecraft is a hard item to use, but what gets more confusing about this bow is how exactly you replenish your supply of arrows. There are arrows located in the chests around the map, the supply locations. However, those really don't give a very consistent amount because getting an arrow from those is kind of like a chance-based thing. You might get it, you might not. It really just depends on how lucky you are. Plus, you have to put yourself in a lot of danger to do so. So what I've developed is a system where you can chuck the bow on the ground, just chuck it on the ground like any other item, like a sword, or whatever you want to drop, and when you pick it up again, it'll give you the message that you've crafted some arrows and give you 5 arrows to work with. Obviously, chucking your bow on the ground isn't the smartest thing when you're like close range combat, because the enemy could just pick up your bow, shoot you with it, or just keep it for himself. You're not seeing that one again. So what I'd suggest is doing it while you're safe. Doing it in an area like your spawn or behind your spawn, somewhere where the enemy can't disrupt you. Because there is another way to do it, a secret that not many people know. The code I use to detect if you should get more arrows or not only relies on the bow being in your inventory, which means that you can just take it out of your inventory, like this, and put it back in. It still works. You still get arrows. It's much faster than dropping it, because you don't have to wait to pick it up again, and it's a bit safer. Though you can't look around, obviously, when you drop it. You can, like, look, quick peek around. So when you're in your inventory, then you cannot. But it's all about preference there, if you want to be safe or if you want to get it done quickly. Okay, so let's look at the damage for this weapon. Now, on normal enemies, such as zombies and skeletons, excuse me, that was a very poor shot, it can two-shot these guys. And when you do kill them, it gives you the proc anyway. So it's a bit confusing how it works, since the strength doesn't chain over from the bow. You know, you'd think that a proc wouldn't, but it does, in fact. Which means that if you weaken a zombie from afar, got a player right behind you, you can just shoot the zombie that you weakened, turn around, kill the player, and continue killing whatever it is you want to kill. The sword, on the other hand, does not do nearly as much damage. Against 3 zombies, you'd probably find yourself overpowered, unless one of them was weakened. But then again, the speed effect makes it kind of easy to back up, doesn't it? Well, in normal play, when you've got players behind you, you know, who want to kill you, then it'll be much more difficult. Now, sadly, this is the only ability I really have for the Archer kit, just the idea that you can attack enemies from afar, deal massive amounts of damage, and get procs from killing people with your bow. It's a very, very kind of opportunistic kit, I'd call it, because at close range combat, you probably will not be able to fight off more than a few enemies at a time. But from afar, or if you know what you're doing, like severely, really know what you're doing, it's a very, very good kit. So I'd call it one of those skill-based kits where you kind of aren't given a lot to work with, but if you can make it work, it'll work like a dream every time. So let's move on to the final section, positioning, where you want to be on the map, and I think this one should be obvious, so it's going to be a short section. See you guys there. Okay, so why exactly do I call this section obvious? There's a lot of places in this map to be. Where exactly would you want to be as an archer? Well, there's only a very few amount of positions on this map which enemies aren't likely to be. And that is your spawns and, well, above your spawns. These little mountains right here, the one that I'm looking at right here, both teams have one, and if you can climb up the ladders and just kind of camp on one of these plateaus, just rain arrows from afar, it's practically the best place to be. Granted, this is a very long shot. If you're trying to shoot at a moving target, you're going to have to account for travel time, which can be difficult, but I've also seen a few players kind of play very aggressively on the Archer crit and maybe shoot from this bridge over to the towers, get those fire archers, these guys over here. But the problem with that is you just get knocked off so much, and when you fall off as an archer down here, there's very little chance you're going to get out of that alive. So I would always recommend staying safe as this kit. The speed effect will only save you from so much. If you're getting knocked back, or if you're stunned, then yeah, you're probably dead, sadly. The leather armor just doesn't do that much. And there have been a few players I've noticed who have tried to actually set up camp up here, the middle base. But you see this little smoke, these little smoke thingies? You might be able to hear them. They're blazes. The blazes spawn here. And while they are weak to archers, they can be one-shot by the archer's bow. It's devastating for an archer to catch fire because of the stun, because of everything that goes with being on fire. It's never worth it to try and face a horde of these guys. It's just not as an archer. Well, I'd say that was a pretty good overview of the archer class. Not too many abilities or anything special to do with it, but again, it seems more of a skill-based unit than anything else. So good luck to you, archers in training who want to be professional Paul class shooting people off the edgy kind of guys. Good luck to you. It's a tough road. Anyway, the next kit we'll be overviewing is probably going to be the Mage kit, one of the later kits that have been added, but it's a lot like the Archer, actually, except it has a few more abilities. So I'm excited for that, and I'll see you guys later. Hopefully the gods will have settled down by then.